Hi, besties. Today, we're talking about the most toxic relationship in your life. No, not your ex who still likes your Instagram stories at 3 a.m. I'm talking about your bank. Have you ever noticed that when you have $14.50 in your account, the bank treats you like a criminal? They hit you with maintenance fees for being poor. They charge you $35 for an overdraft because you dared to buy a sandwich. They basically gaslight you into thinking that having no money is a moral failure. But then, something happens. You hit a magic number. Let's call it $20,000. Suddenly, the bank stops sending you final notice letters and starts sending you premium gold member invitations. They stop charging you fees and start offering you lounge access. They stop being your landlord and start being your thirsty suitor. Today, we're doing a deep dive into the magic of 20,000. Why this number makes banks nervous, why it's the hardest milestone to hit, and how to get there even if your current investment portfolio is just a jar of loose change and a dream. Let's look at the hierarchy of how banks view humans. It's basically high school, but with more paperwork. Level 1, the fee cow, $0 to $1,000. This is most students. You are the bank's favorite victim. They make their billions off your $12 monthly service fees and your $35 overdrafts. You are literally paying the bank to hold your money. It's like paying a kidnapper to keep you in their basement. Level 2, the invisible ghost, $1,000 to $10,000. You're not paying fees anymore, but the bank doesn't know you exist. You're just a number in a database. You're like the background character in a movie who doesn't even have a name in the credits. Level 3, the tipping point, $20,000. This is where the music stops. Why 20,000? Because at 20,000, you are no longer a consumer. You are capital. Banks realize that if you have 20,000 sitting there, you're disciplined. You're a high-value target. They want to sell you mortgages, they want to give you high-limit credit cards, and they want to make sure you don't take that 20,000 and move it to a competitor. For the first time in your life, you have the leverage. You can walk into a branch and say, "I don't like this fee," and they'll waive it. Why? Because losing a customer with 20,000 is a bad Tuesday for a branch manager. You've gone from being a victim to being a VIP, and all it took was 5 digits. Now, let's talk about why 20,000 is the magic number for your brain and your brokerage account. Most people give up on investing because they put in $100 and after a month they've made 70 cents. They think, "This is stupid. I could have bought a McDouble with that." But 20,000 is where the snowball actually starts to look like a snowball and not just a wet ice cube. Let's look at the math. If you have $100 invested and the market grows by 10%, which is a solid year, you made $10. You can't even buy a decent burrito for $10 anymore. But if you have $20,000 and the market grows by 10%, you just made $2,000 while you were sleeping, watching Netflix, or crying over your midterms. $2,000 is a whole month's rent in most cities. It's a vacation. It's a new MacBook. This is the first time you see your money actually working. When your money starts making rent money by itself, your brain chemistry changes. You stop seeing money as something to spend and start seeing it as employees that need to go out and bring back more money. The first 20,000 is the hardest thing you will ever do. It's a grind. It's saying no to the girls' trip when you really want to go. It's driving a car that sounds like a lawnmower. But once you hit 20,000, the momentum takes over. It's like getting a plane off the ground. The takeoff takes 90% of the fuel. Once you're at 30,000 feet, you're just cruising, baby. This is the part that nobody tells you. 20,000 isn't just a number in an app, it's mental health insurance. When you have $0 in your account, you are a slave to your circumstances. You have to put up with a toxic boss. You have to stay in that crappy apartment with the roommate who steals your almond milk. You have to stay in a relationship that's meh because you can't afford a security deposit on a new place. 20,000 is the FU fund. It's enough money to survive for 6 months without a job. The second you hit that number, you stand up a little straighter. You speak your mind in meetings. Why? Because you know that if they fire you, you're fine. You have a cushion of 20,000 tiny soldiers protecting your peace. The bank knows this too. They know you're harder to manipulate when you don't need their predatory loans. That's why they start being nice. They're trying to catch you before you realize how powerful you actually are. Real wealth isn't about buying a Ferrari. It's about the freedom to tell the world to F off whenever you want. And let me tell you, that feeling is more addictive than any designer handbag. Okay, so how do we get there without selling a kidney? If you're a student or just starting out, $20K feels like $20 million. But let's break it down into main character steps. The subscription audit. I know, I sound like your dad, but listen, you are probably paying for 4 streaming services you don't watch, a gym you don't go to, and a pro version of an app you used once in 2023. Cancel them. That's $100 a month right there. That's $1,200 a year. That's a flight to Paris. The 48-hour rule. If you see something you want to buy, wait 48 hours. If you still want it, buy it. 90% of the time, the dopamine hit fades and you realize you just wanted to buy it because you were bored or sad. Side hustles. That aren't embarrassing. Don't go work for an MLM selling tea that makes you poop. Use your skills. Can you edit videos? Can you manage a small business's TikTok? High-skill side hustles pay $30 to $50 per hour. If you do that for 5 hours a week, you're hitting 20,000 way faster than you think. Automate the boring part. Set up a transfer to your investment account the second your paycheck hits. If you wait until the end of the month to see what's left, the answer will always be $0 and a receipt from Taco Bell. Listen, the system is designed to keep you broke. It's designed to keep you in that level 1 fee cow stage forever. Breaking through to 20,000 is your way of hacking the simulation. It's the moment you stop being a character in someone else's game and start being the player. The first time a bank representative calls you ma'am with actual respect because of your balance, you'll realize what I'm talking about. It's a power move. So, here's your assignment. Go look at your accounts. Find your starting point. Whether it's $5 or $5,000, decide today that you're headed for the 20K mark. Not for the stuff you can buy, but for the valentines cards the bank is going to have to start writing you. I've been Lexa. Hit subscribe, drop a like, and tell me in the comments, what's the dumbest thing a bank has ever charged you for? Let's roast them together. Stay iconic. See you guys next time, whenever compound interest makes us all a little richer.